got as an angel. So that's why I say me, that'll be my conversation. I don't get more into the Da Vinci Code and all that type of stuff. That's not me. But I will listen and I don't debate about it. You know, people believe they believe. So that's why I won't get on live talking about it because I don't care much about it.
That's a respectful answer.
Yes, yeah, because I'm just, you know, a lot of people, you know, they all had to get confused. Like I said, I'm more of a spiritual person, so me, I'm just like, that's the devil.
Stop.
I mean,
If the devil, if I recognize that's what it is, that's what I'm gonna say. I ain't got to be like, oh, this and that, because it's my eyes. The devil behind it.
I won't say, but I do believe in God. My thing is something like, I won't say as far as like spiritual because my thing is, you know, you feel me, like the system do have their way.
They do, but
they
it's a
do
spirit behind it, because like, look at us.
You
When our spirit
it is a spirit behind
these
it.
bodies, these are shells. We are spiritual beings at the end of the day. When your spirit depart from your body, all you got is spirit. So when I say spiritual, I mean it's a certain spirit behind people. Like if a person don't serve God, and that's why I say in my belief, that's why I won't get on no live saying it, because that's not what he's trying to do. Like he said, he
Actually,
well, you act my opinions, right?
Yeah. So the reason why I'm doing that collectively is because
He basically trying to get everybody point.
basically what I'm saying is, I'm saying even in the Bible says study
To
show yourself approved.
Exactly. I have
So-
studied that type of stuff.
So the parts that I know I have definitely studied, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I've studied war since I was 14.
Exactly.
So,
That's why I said I'm opposed to
but-
I haven't, so I'm not going. I can't really give much on my intake on
mean,
that
Rick
particular
denied
topic
all
because
that.
I haven't did much studying regarding that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my stuff is more faith based with my studying to show myself approved. Like I'm in that Bible, but when it comes to stuff like that, I don't get up to the deep end on that. That's why I said. But I'm not opposed to
See,
it. Or,
where I'm gonna come in last because
yeah.
it's all spiritual. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that a lot of people don't realize, even when it deals with the Bible, that Bible is it's a codex, it's a history book.
I believe
You know what I'm saying?
that. That's what I'm saying.
But everything that's in that Bible thus far as being able to identify certain stuff around, that's where the studying comes in, because that's why they took over 18 books out the Bible. You feel me?
Be careful with the baby.
The baby ran out.
But a lot of people, the church would separate spirituality from common sense. You see what I'm saying? It's all spiritual because there is a mindset behind everything, and that's where people like myself will come in and like identifying the connections and seeing the connection for where it is. You know what I'm saying? Like conspiracy, for example. I use that word because I know that word triggers a lot of people. But conspiracy literally means to act, to conspire, or to come together, group together with one mindset to do harm or something against somebody. You see what I'm saying?
I'm not against it. I just don't like it. I haven't really much studied about that type of stuff. I've kind of stayed away, like I'm not into politics and stuff, just me personally. But I'm not gonna ever tell you that ain't right. I don't do that. I ain't gonna shun nobody nothing because I'm an open-minded person as well. But I'll just tell you like, for me, then my way, I'm gonna be like, this what this is, and my belief. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna not saying anything you're saying wrong. I'm not coming against that because God give me the revelation.
Pretty much sugarcoat.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I ain't gonna, you know, a lot of stuff we gotta pray for revelation for. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's not gonna get it. Like if God opened your eyes to one thing, everybody's not gonna receive it that way. You know what I'm saying? So some stuff I do have to be like, okay, God, open me up because I don't understand this.
This will be perfect for you then.
You get what I'm
It'll be
saying?
perfect. You mind joining in? You gotta scoot closer though, because there's a lot more noise right there. So,
just keep it away from water. Let me clean these things up. But I want to see her listen though, for sure.
so how I start out is, you know what I'm saying? I start asking people what you feel about, or how do you feel about how the world is run, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like identifying yourself. Identifying yourself, you know what I'm saying? Coming from being a mother, from being a woman, you know what I'm saying? From being a daughter of somebody, you know what I'm saying? You can use your color, you know what I'm saying? For me, example, I would say, I know for sure, not just a feeling, I know for sure that this world is stacked against us. You know what I'm saying? Systematically, if you want to put the slanderous adversaries or wicked spirits behind the influences of men, from a biblical perspective of books that have been taken out purposely so that we wouldn't know who we are as a people, and we wouldn't know what's really going on and how to identify it. Something that's been in our history book since, you know what I'm saying, before Christianity ever existed in many other religions. You know what I'm saying? Book of Enoch. Because this goes directly into the book of Ephesians chapter 6. Recognizing this is a system, it's an angelic system. So in order to have that, you have to have God to undo it and teach us from there. You know what I'm saying? But also in that mindset of what it looked like and how to recognize walking in power and walking in authority. Entrepreneurship will be walking in power, and walking in authority is literally standing and refusing to silence ourselves against oppression. You know what I'm saying? By being able to identify oppression and not only identify it, but know how to maneuver around it and problem solve it with the intentions of pulling some of them out of that mindset and y'all using us as vessels to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. We can talk about COVID. We can talk about, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't know what COVID actually is. They'll sit there and say it's a sickness. It's not a sickness. That's a venous sickness. It's something totally different. But going back to the biblical perspective, if we don't study these things, we don't study these people, you're not going to know what you're up against. You're not going to know how to be wise as serpents or harmless as doves. You're not going to know what it means to have a savior, because he had to have something to save us from. If you don't know what error is, you know what I'm saying, how to identify error, then how are you going to be able to connect that pieces to say that you know him? You know what I'm saying? Or to say that you actually have truth. You know what I'm saying? Or the love of the truth. You gotta speak up.
Huh?
You gotta speak up. They're loud.
Oh, I didn't know. But no, I would never take the vaccine because I feel like it's deadly. Like it'll kill you. Like, I just feel like my thing is they use me all as pets. Like they just use me all as animals. Like I feel like it's a use for animals. Like I feel like anybody who got like if you take the after effect of the shot, it will tell you like, you know, the things that go on with the shot is I take the shot right now today, you feel me, anything's going on with my body. You feel me? Like say for a prime example, a man may take the shot, his sperm count may get low. You feel me? He may not never be able to have kids. Me for a prime example, I take the shot, I may not never be able to have kids ever again. So you feel me? Like I done seen a lot of people say a lot of things happen to them with them having that COVID shot. A lot of stuff that happens to people. Oh, a lot of things has happened to a lot of people when they had, you know, got the COVID shot and things like that. You know, a lot of people have said my legs hurt. A lot of people have said, you know, I don't operate the same way. Some people, kids that had disability problems and everything. Like, you know, you feel me? So, you know, I feel like, you know, you getting the COVID shot, you know, they pretty much getting money off it. You getting money off it. You getting that COVID shot. No, I'm not gonna front. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, you know, I would never day know if I live ever get the COVID shot. Because nobody's gonna take my life away from my child. Like, simple as that. Even like I feel like they're trying to kill kids because they make the kids that's 11, 12 years old that be in 7th, 8th grade get the COVID shot. Like, in order for them to be in class, like, they got to get the COVID shot. So, in order for them to pass the grade, they got to have a COVID shot. So, I'm bringing you home a paper, mommy saying, okay, in order for me to pass this class, I need to get a COVID shot. Like, you really got to take me to go get a COVID shot in order to pass this class. If not, then I get an F in my class because I didn't get the COVID shot.
So do you know what the COVID shot is actually for?
What?
It's gene therapy. When they first started introducing it, Bill Gates and Dr. Fauci, he's not a doctor, he's a scientist, but they would literally talk about conducting human trials.
If y'all realize, y'all know they test for COVID shots on animals before they test it on us.
Right.
Yeah. It's a gene therapy. I mean, it's the gene mutation.
Those on animals. I don't know if y'all ever seen that animal 2 years ago that it was a pig mixed with something 2 years ago, and they did like they tested that on the animal.
So basically, what they're doing, it is a sterile. There's 4 parts to it. You got the gene therapy, which is preps your genetics. Then you got the one that's a sterilization. You got the variant that's a variant of HIV, rapid spread of that. And you can only imagine as many people sleeping around with whoever. I'm saying that, especially when they get that, and how many people go end up with a variant of HIV. And then the 4th part is it is a total genetic which goes into the mark of the beast. And they call it the Lucifer's quantum dot because they have like little crystals that dissolve into your skin, but it's nanotechnology. They're saying it's infrared. So they're able to see it on like certain and stuff like that. But there's no digging it out of your blood. You know what I'm saying? It's there. So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just all it's what they have 4 stages to it. And then part of that it goes directly into the COVID tracking system. I have a brother and sister who live in the UK who then showed me a video like way when all this stuff first started. So the UK worker putting in panels for the 5G towers and stuff like that. On the solar panel, it had indented the word COVID. This is part of a surveillance system, ITW, which is a military surveillance system. So that's what COVID is. COVID is a military 5G system where they have everything in sync, or they would call it Neuralink or Neuralink, you know what I'm saying? Where everything is being brought under this one new system. That's why they call it a reset in their terminology. And y'all's terminology is totally different meaning. But they have that as a digital tracking system. You know what I'm saying? This is where all the records and stuff is going digital, so on and so forth. So it'll be in that on your chips and stuff like that, attached to your bank accounts, everything.
Wow.
So when they shut the system down again, according to God putting in their heart to fulfill His will yet again, I think it's Revelation 12-14 where it talks about the merchants that stood far off watching Babylon. Now you go over there and you look at all the container ships that they have off the coast of California right now, and all the ships that are still coming. And that immediately goes to that scripture, because when they shut it down this time, it's not going to come up again.
Right.
At all. You know what I'm saying? And it's also set for an invasion. You know what I'm saying? Which American Corporation, which is the British people, banking systems, which are setting to assault the own people on this soil.
Wow.
Just same thing what they did with 9/11, same thing what they did in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They did removal
The
act.
whole point of the COVID system is to trap people. Keep up with every part of their lives from when they go to bed to when they wake up.
Marketing and tracking, it's a replication of China's system, but like 100 times worse.
Wow.
And
they doing it through the towers, you're saying, or?
Oh yeah, so there's frequency radiation coming through that for one as well. You got mercury, you got lead on top of all the aerosols that they've been spraying through chemtrails, aluminum, barium, strontium, so on and so forth. And that's why they have like that grayish hazy look and stuff like that. And the book of Enoch, it talks about Ezekiel and Kokabeel, who would taught men knowledge of the clouds and stuff like that. So this is where they get the operation of what they call cloud seeding and stuff like that, which is funded by DARPA, which is a military weapon system. So DARPA and HARP is a military weather modification system. And they call it geoengineering or climate change. But climate change in the midst of that is an eradication for one of black people and their seed, because just like in the times of King Herod, watch out. This is for a movie, not for that. Where King Herod has sent out that decree to kill every Hebrew child, you know what I'm saying, about the age of 2, so on and so forth. So it's the same thing. Now going back into the days of Noah, dealing with this mark, you know what I'm saying, this is why y'all destroyed the earth the first time, because their genes were totally mutated. You know what I'm saying? This is the theory of X-Men and X-Men evolution, so on and so forth. Mutants and stuff like that, or zombies, so dead while they live, literally. Have eyes to see nothing. Ears to hear, and hear to see. Who's gonna believe our report? And Rothschild, Bilderberg, the Crux, the Bundys, McDonald's, Sam Walmart, all the people dealing with the automotive industry, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? J.C. Penney, J.P. Morgan. You got Sykes Industries. You got Hanson Robotics, so on and so forth. This goes into the Space Task Force, right? This is where now, over the last year and a half, where people are talking about they seen UFO sightings. It's a lie. The UFO sightings are part of a program they call Project Bluebeam,
From the government.
which is where you can go on YouTube and you look up holographic whale splashing in the water on the gym floor of the school. It's gonna show a video where that's with the VR, the holographic reality. You see what I'm saying? Because it's gonna manipulate the way people see.
Right.
People been conditioned to just believe anything anyway, so they're not gonna know the difference between CGI, film editing, between the real thing. You see what I'm saying? So it's a perfect cover for an invasion at the same time. Because let's say somebody looking at this, they're like, "Oh, that's an angel." It's like, is that what an angel looked like when y'all showed you in a vision? You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a sensory trick. But on top of the chemtrails, on top of the nanotech, which also with artificial foods and chemicals and synthetics and stuff like that, and excess sugars and everything else, enzymes, and hormones, which also creates a chemical imbalance. You know what I'm saying? That those heavy trace metals and stuff like that, and pesticides and herbicides keeps us more susceptible to being possessed by wicked spirits, because there's certain frequencies and energies that's triggered by anger, frustrations, you know what I'm saying, unnecessary sadness and everything else that yeah. Which is one reason why sex is so over pushed at the same time, because there's an energy behind that most people are not able to comprehend or interpret the meaning of how God says he designed that. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. So as the world is lawless, the system that we obey is direct blasphemy to God. It's the curse of his law. The only law is the 10 Commandments and then following his feast days. You know what I'm saying? And he followed up by summing them up into common sense of loving your neighbor as yourself, doing the image you are doing too. If you love God, you'll do it. It's like a child with that's like a child with their parent. You know what I'm saying? So we're in this system, which is the slave system, the trade system, right? Marine and Maritime Admiralty law. Marine and Maritime Admiralty law is a commercial code banking system. That's why we got birth certificates, social security cards, which are actually banking receipts. The Jesuit order, or the Society of Jesus, as they're known as, Rosicrucians, Freemasons, Ku Klux Klan, they all have the same cross. You know what I'm saying? The same was during the Council of Nicaea or the Nicolaitans, when God says he hates the works of the Nicolaitans, because for one, they tried to rewrite they took out and they tried to rewrite things for people to be seduced and be following and obeying what they want them to do. And this is again led by wicked angels' mindsets. And it says this in the book of Revelation 2, or Apocalypse, which really means unveiling. So the misconceptions or perceptions people have of apocalypse, they think it's zombies against the world. No, that's not what it is. That's called the wrath of Almighty God. You know what I'm saying? The apocalypse is a revealing, but if you don't study to show yourself approved, a workman of God to rightly divide the word. If you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you should not talk. Because at the end of the day, that same word going to come to challenge you out of nowhere. And he's challenging every single one of us to the point of what we call our faith. You know what I'm saying? He's not a religious guy, never been a religious guy. He's not a religion. That's following the commandments and doctrines of demons and doctrines of men. You know what I'm saying? He never called us violators, other than Israel. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of our people who are being destroyed of the tribe of Israel, you know what I'm saying, of the tribe of Israel, even in this place, that will directly reject that. You know what I'm saying? Because they find their identity in colonialists, fascists, you know what I'm saying, racism as creation. That's how race should be used. The rest is colorless, or just hatred, just because you just hate. But without realizing that both Jacob and Esau were twin brothers, even though they was two different colors. You know what I'm saying? Noah himself, who was pale skinned, had like red hair. You know what I'm saying? And the hatred between black and white, so to speak, or the ignorance and light, would be a lack of knowledge, which my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. But not only the lack of knowledge, because if just having a bunch of knowledge makes you puffed up with pride, then to have knowledge means you should have a practical way of applying that knowledge.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? In a way that's practical, and like easy enough for a child to be able to receive the interpretation. So I say all that because out of everything else that can still be said, as far as like the ritual sacrifices, people still burning their children, sacrificing their children, or donating their organs and shit like that, which has been a barbaric practice for some time. FBI, which is not law enforcement, has their hands in all of that. The CIA, which is not law enforcement, never has been law enforcement, same thing. The policy upholders of Rome, because they bear their allegiance to society. Jesus bears their allegiance to the Pope of Rome, who says boldly he replaces, you know what I'm saying, and replaces his law. So there's Hebrews that will sit there and talk about the law, statutes, commandments, judgments, stuff like that, but they're not seeing Exodus chapter 20. You know what I'm saying? They're not seeing the common sense of brotherly love. They're not seeing the common sense of seeking peace, and peace will pursue you. Like, you have to violently seek peace. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna seek Yah, what, you know what I'm saying? People ask like, okay, what is God? You got to know what the fuck God means before you can sit there and be like, I follow God. You know what I'm saying? God in itself is not his.
What you say, what the fuck? Girl, wait a minute now.
You looking for somebody? You looking for somebody?
Get your behind out the.
Get down.
Let me lift up the window.
Thank you for trying to help, but get down.
Yeah.
Which God literally means gold, good, pouring out a libation. But if we're not pouring out thanksgiving, we're not pouring out gratitude, which is all he's asking for us. You know what I'm saying? We're not pouring out acknowledging who he is, because he's fucking awesome. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else's other God is dirt, is trash. You know what I'm saying? Period. And the sorcery of this, or the witchcraft of everything, it's nothing wrong with having herbs, using herbs. Nothing wrong with roots, because we eat this shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all say that you pray for good to be eaten, to be intaken. So that's not the problem. The problem is when we're using it, these elements and these components to be manipulative for our own gain the despair of others.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Either keeping them unknown so they don't know what's going on, which is conspiracy. That's Psalm 83 directly. So this is what I mean by connecting the pieces, by identifying. It was. It's no longer. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna hurt yourself.
But this is the whole purpose of it. I'm saying, like, when we talk about being raptured out of those thinking, a lot of people are like, oh, we about to go to heaven. How you gonna go to heaven when he said he coming down here? He said no, he's kingdom here. You gonna be waiting a long time.
Okay.
You're gonna be upset. You might not make it in, because there's a lot of people that said, Lord, Lord, are we not prophesizing your name and cast out demons? And he's like, depart from me, I never knew you. Or in hood terms, get the fuck away from me. Hey, why are you here? Why are you telling me this? You know what I'm saying? But I want to talk about organizing. I want to talk about when y'all find masks, start saving masks up. Start saving band-aids up. Start saving gloves up. Start saving up bottles. Start saving up wipes. Start saving up food where you can. Pray and be mindful as other people are praying, and be mindful as well, as far as like storing that stuff. There's videos all over YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can have my email address, which is VISYONYAHUAH1234@gmail.com. I can write it down too. So I can personally send that stuff to everybody.
Excuse me, guys. I think he wanted to talk about some things we need to save up.
I'm sorry, what?
Some things we need
Start
to save
saving
up.
up wipes, diapers, food, gloves, masks, tools. If you can get armed, get armed. Because when they shut these lights out, when they really shut these lights out, they about to shut it down again. And it's gonna be out of
Y'all know
nowhere.
they messed up the EBT. Y'all know they messed up the EBT.
Right, couple days, right?
Yeah.
That's because they mounting it to the system.
They want to see how
believe-
y'all can do without the EBT system. They not said, I swear to God, they said.
That's why they had that supply boat. That's why they have all those shipping
They said
containers
they
out
want
there.
to see
I'm
what
telling
y'all
you,
want to
it's
do.
real life Hunger Games that they doing out here.
You got the phone system. That's why they shut it down. So they said they want to last month they shut the whole doggone thing down for nobody to be able to take money off their card.
Get your money out the bank, because when they shut this shit down, you ain't getting your
They
money.
shut that
I'm
down.
telling you.
Just see how people on the people lose their motherfucking.
You ain't gotta believe me. I'm telling you though. Get your money out the bank. Put it up.
Well, I don't have no money. Oh, I don't either.
Yes, you do. Money is knowledge. Money is knowledge. You know how to use it. If you feel like just having this in your hand is money, something wrong with you. That's not even right. But Anything that y'all, you know what I'm saying, matches, batteries, if you have ways to get.
And I'm not about to believe in that, none of that stuff.
You don't believe in God, and they tell you to do certain stuff. You talking about you don't believe in it. That means you don't believe in it.
Trust me. Ain't nobody gonna clean up at night.
So you ain't read his word? That's part of knowing him. You can't know him and not read his word. That go out of context of who he is. Or even know him. That's not being prepared is not worried. Joseph wasn't worried for 7 years of famine and 7 years of plenty. But he used wisdom. He used wisdom. You'll see.
Look, this how I look, Mr. Byron. Look how I look. See?
What's that?
I know who you mean.
What, dirty?
Baby, where you be sitting, baby?
I don't know if these people actually gonna listen, man.
Okay. I could never. I'm scared.
That look like a whole season factory getting up in there.
Hey, look, outside. Look at that motherfucker. Come on, somewhere.
Somebody trying to make new flavors. Got booty juice and everything. Snot.
That motherfucker making me
That's my secret.
This bird.
We got the hot secret sauce going on in the high chair. I don't know.
I'm scared. I need gloves if I do that motherfucker.
Y'all have fun with that. I ain't touching it. Not tonight. All right, children of minds. Children of minds. Children of mind. Hey, uno, come, dos, tres. Come on.
They're about to be down here or upstairs.
I'm about to go upstairs. It's time for y'all to lay down. It's time to hit the sack. Oh, man, yeah, man. I don't think many people gonna listen. You know, we can spread this word. We will spread this word. I plead the blood of Yahushua, all the disciples and agendas of the wicked of cancer over us, against us. You know what I'm saying? It's all that cancer stuff. We're covered in the blood of Yahushua and the hedge of protection. There ain't no weapon formed against us prosperous. You know, plead the blood of Yahushua, even over the airwaves and over our devices. You know what I'm saying? What y'all say it is. A lot of people, they're just not gonna hear it. They're not gonna listen. You know, you can hear it from yourself or some like, you know, you believe in Yah, but you ain't hearing His word. How the fuck you gonna know? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know if He tell you, teach you. And ain't nobody said be worried, but there's wisdom. You know what I'm saying? If He's saying get prepared for something, blow the trumpet, warn the people, and you're not preparing, don't be stupid enough to not have oil. You know what I'm saying? Not be prepared. Like, how you know that you hearing His voice if you ain't also reading His word? That he gonna teach, He gonna draw you to reading what He wants you to read as well, especially when it's around you to do so. And I think that's pretty prideful. No, it's bedtime. I think it's pretty prideful and pretty prideful and stubborn hearted to say something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to play this real quick and I'll be back. Which my people die for. They're destroyed for lack of knowledge. And the seduction of soothsaying, eloquent words that are given to us and false promises through a system that cannot save us. This is why Yahushua came to the earth, inserted himself in his own creation, and that's why he is called the Son of Man. Per Isaiah, you know what I'm saying, and so on. So to be Benai Elohim or Nathrim to be a follower, a disciple, disciplined student of Yah, is to learn His way. He said, "There is a way that seems right to a man, but the ends thereof is death." Our way of life seems right, but it is the way of death and debt. It's a monopoly system built off of genocide. Definitely bent on the destruction of all Israel. The gentrification and the murder of Margaret Sanger goes back into Darwinism, Planned Parenthood. All these people who support Planned Parenthood, you're supporting genocide. You know what I'm saying? That's not supporting God. If you look at Caesar's money, if you will, the Greco-Samaritan, Babylonian, Egyptian, Kabbalist Judaism, if you will, Zoroastrianism, old ancient age, Atlantitherium, put it like that. It's not Yah's way. As in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the times of the coming of the Son of Man. That's what we're living in. We've seen many blood moons. Many of us have recorded it, them dates, times, places, and following signs and things that took place in the midst and afterward. Viewers' discretion be advised. They are dead while they live. They're dead in their thinking. Most zombies, sheeple, sleepers, dead zones. That's what I'm going to call them. Dead drones, drone zone, whatever. They do not know that they do not know. Christianity, Bishop, it was Magnatius or Magnus and Ignatius and Constantine. There's many of those so-called bishops, self-proclaimed bishops and popes who claimed to see the image of the cross in the sun, right? But if anyone who knows the Knights Templar, the Rosicrucians, the cross with the roses, or the red cross and the blue cross, and by organization, if you will, of incorporation, embodied demonic indoctrinations of doctrines of demons and doctrines of men, or rules and statutes, municipalities, principalities, according to Ephesians 6. This is an angelic war. This is a divine war. You have a lot of geese flying behind us. Silent wars, silent weapons. You have the chemtrails, aluminum, barium, strontium, mercury, and then you have coal. So there's gray chemtrails, there's black ones, there's reddish orange looking ones. Also dumping iron, or the chemicals being ionized between the water and the air. The pesticides, Monsanto and herbicides, which kill and destroy all living life, to the point where you can have a tree such as this, and pretty much by the grace of Yah, it's not allowed to grow, but it's still so limber and dead, like the growing dead. Everything has been poisoned, and even though we drink poison, it will not kill us, says Yahusha. But knowing we have the power, it is written, "Behold, I give unto you power to tread upon serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, nothing will by any means hurt you. I empower you," says Yahusha. He has empowered me. He has empowered those of us who He has, because we receive His word. Many do not know that. We welcome power and authority and dominion over the airwaves. Of all creatures, over them, cherubim, seraphim, women, men, and children, fighting out, bind on the enemy on all sides. All mountains you are plucked up, you are removed and cast into the sea, cast into the pit in Yahushua's name. Man, who is that? She'll call me back.